You wake up. Nothing's wrong. Nobody died. You didn't lose your job. You have a roof, food, maybe even people who love you. And still, somewhere behind your ribs, there's this nothing. Not sadness, not anger, just a flat, gray static where feelings used to be. You smile at the right times. You laugh at the right jokes. But inside, it's like the lights are on and nobody's home. If that sentence just hit you in the chest a little, stay with me for the next 20 minutes, because I'm going to tell you exactly why that emptiness shows up, why it's not a character flaw, and what actually makes it go away. Not fake positivity. Not just be grateful. The real mechanism behind why you feel hollow and the real way out. Before we go further, subscribe if you've ever felt this way and never told anyone. You'd be surprised how many people are sitting exactly where you are right now, scrolling at 2 a.m., looking for the same answer. So let's start with the thing nobody tells you. Emptiness is not the absence of emotion. It's the presence of too much unprocessed emotion, sitting so still for so long that it stops registering as anything at all. Think of static on an old TV. It's not silence. It's every channel playing at once, so loud and so constant that your brain just filters it into noise. That's what emptiness is. It's not nothing. It's everything. Muted. Here's how it usually starts, and I want you to really listen to this part because I think you'll recognize yourself in it. Somewhere along the way, you learned that your feelings were inconvenient. Maybe a parent said, "Stop crying," or "I'll give you something to cry about." Maybe you grew up in a house where anger got punished, so you buried it. Maybe you were the strong one for your friends, the one who held everyone else together while nobody asked how you were doing. Maybe you went through a breakup, a loss, a betrayal, and instead of sitting with it, you just kept moving. Work, scrolling, sleep, repeat. Every time you didn't process something, you didn't destroy it. You just put it in a box and put the box in the basement. And you kept doing that, year after year, box after box, until one day the basement got so full that the weight of it started pressing up into your everyday life. That pressure, that heaviness with no clear source, that's the emptiness you're feeling right now. And here's the part that's going to sound backwards, but stick with me. The emptiness isn't your enemy. It's your nervous system's way of protecting you. When you have that many unprocessed emotions stacked up, feeling all of them at once would be unbearable. So your brain does something smart, in a twisted way. It shuts the volume down on everything. Not just the bad feelings, all of them. That's why you can't feel sad, but you also can't feel joy. You can't cry, but you also can't really laugh. Not the deep kind. It's not that you're broken. It's that your mind hit the mute button because it thought that was safer than letting you feel the full weight of everything you've been carrying. Now let's talk about the world you're living in, because it's not helping. You are surrounded every single day by a machine built to keep you distracted from ever sitting still long enough to feel anything real. Every time that pit in your stomach starts to show up, there's a phone in your pocket, ready to hand you 40 minutes of short videos so you never have to sit with it. Every time silence gets uncomfortable, there's a show to binge, a game to play, a group chat to check. None of that is evil. But all of it adds up to a life where you almost never stop long enough to ask yourself, wait, how am I actually doing? And when you never ask the question, the feelings don't disappear. They just wait. Quietly, patiently, getting heavier. I want to be honest with you about something else too. A lot of people online will tell you that emptiness means you need a bigger life, a better job, more money, a partner, a following, a body that looks a certain way. And listen, I get why that story is tempting, because it gives you a task list, If I just achieve enough, the emptiness will go away. But here's the truth almost nobody wants to hear. You can hit every single goal on that list and still feel exactly this hollow. Because emptiness isn't an achievement problem. It's a connection problem. Connection to your own emotions and connection to other people. You can be surrounded by 400 online friends and still feel like nobody actually knows you. You can have the job everyone's jealous of and still drive home in silence, feeling like a ghost in your own life. Achievement can distract you from the emptiness for a while. It cannot fill it. Only two things fill it, and I'm going to walk you through both. Real quick, if you've made it this far, drop a single word in the comments describing how this feels for you. Numb, tired, stuck, whatever it is. I read every one, and honestly, seeing that you're not the only one who typed that word helps more than people realize. Okay, so the first thing that actually starts to fill the emptiness is feeling the feelings you've been avoiding on purpose, safely, a little at a time. This is not about having a dramatic breakdown or forcing yourself to relive your worst memories all at once. That's not healing. That's just re-injuring yourself. What actually works is small and boring, and it works anyway. It's sitting in a quiet room for 10 minutes with no phone and just noticing what comes up. It's writing, badly, messily, without trying to sound smart. Just getting the thoughts out of your head and onto a page. It's saying one true sentence to one person you trust. Something like, honestly, I've been feeling really empty lately, instead of saying, I'm fine, for the 400th time. Every time you do one of these small things, you're taking one box out of that basement and finally opening it. It's uncomfortable. It might make you cry for the first time in months. That's not a setback. That's the static finally clearing into an actual channel. The second thing, and this one is honestly bigger than most people expect, is real connection. Not the kind where you're in a group chat with 15 people and nobody actually knows what's going on in your life. Real connection, where at least one person knows the true, unfiltered version of you. The tired version, the scared version, the version that doesn't have it all figured out. Human beings did not evolve to process pain alone. For most of our history, we lived in tight tribes where everyone knew everyone's business, where grief was witnessed by the whole group, where you were never expected to carry something heavy by yourself in silence. Modern life stripped that away and replaced it with likes and follower counts, which feel like connection but don't actually satisfy the same need. If you can find even one person, a friend, a family member, a therapist, and let them see the real, unpolished, sometimes empty version of you, that single relationship can do more for that hollow feeling than anything else on this list. I know some of you are thinking, I don't have anyone like that. And if that's you, I want you to hear this clearly. That's not a permanent condition. That's a current circumstance, and it can change. It starts small. It starts with being 15% more honest with one person than you usually are. It starts with reaching out to that old friend you've been meaning to text. It starts with therapy, if you have access to it. Not because something is wrong with you, but because a good therapist is trained to help you open those boxes safely, one at a time, without getting overwhelmed. There is zero shame in that. The strongest people I know are the ones who got help. The people who never ask for help aren't strong. They're just alone, and they usually don't even realize it. Let's also talk about the body for a second, because emptiness isn't only in your head. Chronic stress, bad sleep, sitting indoors for days at a time, eating in a way that spikes and crashes your energy. All of that physically dampens the signals your brain uses to feel anything. You cannot think your way out of a nervous system that's exhausted. So while you're doing the emotional work, also do the boring physical stuff. Get outside for 10 minutes of actual sunlight. Move your body, even just a walk. Fix your sleep before you fix your mindset, because a sleep-deprived brain cannot process emotion properly. Period. This isn't the whole answer, but it's the floor everything else stands on. Here's what I really want you to take away from this. Feeling empty doesn't mean your life is empty. It means there's a backlog of feeling that never got its turn. It means you survived a lot by numbing out, and that numbing worked, for a while, to get you through. But you don't have to live there forever. The way out isn't one big dramatic moment. It's small, repeated acts of honesty, with yourself and with at least one other person. It's opening the boxes slowly instead of leaving them in the basement forever. And it's understanding that the fact you're even asking, "Why do I feel empty?" means part of you is still fighting to feel something real again. That part of you isn't gone. It's just waiting for you to stop drowning it out long enough to hear it. If this video actually described how you've been feeling, do 3 things for me. Hit like, because it tells this platform to put this in front of somebody else who's sitting in silence right now, thinking they're the only one. Drop a comment, even one word, because reading that you're not alone is genuinely part of the cure we just talked about. And subscribe, because I'm making more of these real talks about the stuff people usually pretend is fine when it isn't. You made it through this whole video. That's not nothing. That's you already doing the work. I'll see you in the next one.